Hello and welcome to Chaplaincy's Pause for Thought. I greet you with Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. For my fellow Muslims watching today, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you Eid Mubarak, or as we say in Malay, Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Fitri. Over the past month, millions of Muslims from around the globe, regardless of gender, ethnicity, and socioeconomic backgrounds, have spent their time observing the holy month of Ramadan. For those on the outside, it might seem a simple or perhaps difficult task of abstaining from food and drink from sunrise to sunset, and yes, before you even ask, not even water. But Ramadan is so much more than that. The aim is not just about reducing what we put in our stomachs, but also what we view with our eyes, what we hear with our ears, and what we say with our tongues. So, avoiding seeing what we know is displeasing to God, avoiding listening to gossip and making sure we don't contribute to that gossip. Before Ramadan starts, so many of us, myself included, start planning of how we're going to spend Ramadan. It's going to be the best Ramadan ever, the most special Ramadan ever. We plan to pray more, recite the Quran more, stay off social media, and reduce our Netflix binging. Reflect more and take time out to work on our relationship with our Maker. For some, everything works out as planned. The best Ramadan ever. You feel the spiritual highs of worship. You spend your nights praying for mercy and forgiveness. You successfully avoid the mid to end of Ramadan slump. And for you, the month passes by too quickly. You feel so blessed. But for some, things don't go to plan. You struggle to make time for worship. Your work, your studies, your family commitments feel you're juggling so many things all the time. Ramadan comes and goes and you feel deflated because you feel like you've missed out. You've not done everything on your to-do list. Sometimes it can make you feel unworthy of God's mercy and blessings. I want you to know that this happens to so many of us. We all struggle with our faith, with our relationship with God. My faith goes up and down, and I sometimes get faith envy, envious of the people who make it seem so easy. But I remind myself that I don't know their struggles. I didn't do the whole social media fast too well this month, and I saw some posts on social media from friends who had struggled during Ramadan. They wrote about how they weren't in the mood to celebrate Eid because they felt that they didn't deserve it. But to me, they are so deserving of Eid, because if all they could do was the physical fast, they did it, when it would have been so much easier to have just given up. It reminded me of how the people of Southeast Asia, the Malays of the Nusantara diaspora that I'm part of, we would describe it as Hari Kemenangan, the day of victory. We celebrate the victory of persevering through the month of Ramadan to the best of our abilities. We celebrate not giving up when it's easy to do so. And we celebrate the day of Eid because our beloved Prophet did so, and we are of his ummah, his community. One of my favorite hadiths, it's sayings of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is, God the Most High said, I am as my servant thinks of me. I am with him when he mentions me. If he mentions me to himself, I mention him to myself. And if he mentions me in an assembly, I mention him in an assembly greater than it. If he draws near to me a hand's length, I draw near to him an arm's length. And if he comes to me walking, I go to him at speed. Ramadan may be over, but it is the start of a new beginning. Those extra plans for worship you wanted to do in Ramadan but weren't able to, have a go at it today. Take this beautiful month of Shawwal as your starting point. If you were lucky enough to stick to your Ramadan plans, continue with it and make it part of your routine outside of Ramadan. My spiritual teachers have always reminded me over and over again, have a good opinion of God. God is not petty. The one who fails and keep trying is beloved to God. Call on God. Keep asking. Keep praying and keep the faith. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed week ahead. Thank you for listening.